romance readers. I am Liz Donatelli. Welcome to the season 6 premiere of FOODIE Seeks Romance, the #1 romance novel talk show on YouTube. I recently sat down with 3-time guest and romance author SARAH ECHAVARRE Smith to discuss her new sexy rom-com, On Location. SARAH explained why she chose Utah as a romantic setting. She shared her real-life workplace trope story, and she revealed why her cinnamon roll hero's favorite food is Snowball's snack cakes.
Yummy.
And SARAH played Ultimate Utah Foodie Trivia. Enjoy, and be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Hi, SARAH. Welcome to FOODIE Seeks Romance for a 3rd time.
Hi, Liz. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be back.
It is a pleasure. Happy book birthday to you. Today, your contemporary romance, On Location, has released into the world.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited. I can't even tell you how thrilled I am to have this book out into the world. Thank you.
I noticed your previous novels, Faker and Simmer Down, were written by SARAH Smith. That's you. But On Location is written by SARAH ECHAVARRE Smith. Tell me about that decision.
For this book, my publisher and I were talking, and we wanted like more of a connection to my Filipino heritage because I'm Filipino American, Filipino Caucasian, and Echevarre was my mom's maiden name. We just thought it would be a really beautiful way to kind of pay tribute to my mom and have that connection. Absolutely. So On Location is another sexy rom-com. The main character, her name is Alia, and she is a producer for an outdoor travel network. And she finally gets her big break, which is to be the showrunner for this outdoor adventure series in Southern Utah about the national parks there. And it's her dream come true to do this show, but there's a catch because her newest crew member is Drew, who is a guy who she had the most amazing first date with, but he ghosted her. So she has to figure out how to navigate filming the show while constantly fighting with this guy who she finds super attractive, but who was a jerk by ghosting her. And on top of that, they have the world's worst host for the show, just this god-awful D-list celebrity. So she's essentially trying to navigate bringing the show to life and her romantic life as well. So it's a hot mess, but it is a really, really fun hot mess.
There is a super ooey gooey cinnamon roll hero, Drew, but he does have a crunchy bite. Would you say that Drew is an amalgam of people you've known, or is he a figment of your imagination?
Sadly, he's not based on any one person that I know, but a lot of his characteristics and personality traits are based off of people in my life who I love, who are wonderful people, one of them being my husband. So that's wonderful. But I think, when I write romance heroes like Drew, I want to make them just as, like you said, like a cinnamon roll, but also like really attractive in a way to the reader. Because in a lot of ways, romance heroes are kind of thought of to be like not very realistic, which I get because normally they have like 8-pack abs and stuff like that. But I think that there is something realistic about writing a hero who is emotionally communicative and healthy in that way, and is willing to communicate with their partner and keep their partner's feelings. He does mess up a couple times. He does do some things that aren't great, but he also is somebody who isn't afraid to say he's sorry when he messes up. And I think that that's like a very like important quality to have in a partner. And I wanted to convey that when I wrote him. So he's a little bit of a figment of my imagination, but also real people and also like qualities that I wish that everybody had, if that makes sense.
That makes total sense. And you hit upon the reason I loved you so much is his willingness to apologize and make things right. That is an extremely sexy quality that not everybody in my life possesses. Even though I still love him, I'd like to see more men apologizing in romance novels.
Same, which is again why I wrote it.
Have you ever been involved in a workplace romance that you had to kind of hide, keep on the down low? I felt as if a lot of Alia's thoughts on it seemed kind of like maybe you had to experience it too.
So actually my husband and I guess if there's one romance trope that fits us, it's the workplace romance. But we met in college when we worked in the library together. So it wasn't like a serious job where we really had to like worry about like, oh, how are we coming off to our clients or to our whatever. But there definitely was an element when we were like kind of flirting and inching into actually dating each other, where we weren't being open about it because we just wanted it to be like us and not involve everyone else. And like we worked at a college library. It's not like we needed to fill out paperwork or anything like that if we were dating. It was just me mostly. Like I just didn't want anyone to be in my business, I guess. And I definitely put that part of my personality into Alia in the story, because when she and Drew actually start officially dating and seeing each other and sleeping together and all that fun stuff, she doesn't want to make it known. She wants her crew members to respect her and not think that she's somebody who would like just sleep with whoever. Not that there's anything wrong with sleeping with whoever, but in the context of a work situation where it's this very small, close-knit group of people, I get her hesitation to want to maintain a professional appearance and then not have her personal life reflect poorly on her.
You brilliantly explore On Location, sexual harassment and gender inequality in the workplace that Alia and her other female colleagues face. Is that something that you felt compelled to write about because it affected you in some way personally, firsthand, or even if it happened to someone you're close to?
In my research for writing On Location, because I don't know what it's like to work on an outdoor television crew or anything like that, I have a couple of friends who they actually work in that field, and one in particular, she's a woman and she's very successful. She has produced a lot of really top tier programs, and even she goes through a lot of just like really unpleasant workplace sexism, or noticing comments here and there where maybe the person doesn't even realize what they're saying, and but she understands like, oh, that means that you're doubting my ability just because I'm not a man like you. Even though I haven't worked in that industry, like I know what it's like to work in a male dominated industry. I used to work for a power tool distributor, and you definitely notice the way that some people talk to you or exclude you from like meetings or emails just because like they make an assumption about you because you're a woman. We all know that it exists, but it's definitely still an ongoing problem. And bringing it up in the context of a rom-com or a romance book, which is a more fun medium, I think is a creative way to bring up a serious issue that I think needs addressing in society. Big cities normally are the setting for a lot of like romances and rom-coms. And like On Location, the network is headquartered in New York City, so that's where everybody lives. But the majority of the book takes place in Utah. And I just thought it would be fun to set sexy romance in a place where not a lot of people would think sexy stuff happens, in Southern Utah in the national parks.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's so much about On Location that excited me because it was different. I wouldn't normally be the person to say, oh yeah, let's go hiking in some national parks and then we'll have some sex. So when and how did your love affair with Utah begin?
Yeah, it absolutely is. So I love hiking. That's one of my favorite things to do. And a handful of years ago, my husband and I wanted to go on a hiking trip. We had like a stretch of days off. We're like, let's just go. And we just picked Utah randomly because it was within a reasonable driving distance from where we lived at the time. And we were just blown away at how beautiful the national parks are there, or even the state parks, just like any area in Southern Utah is just absolutely gorgeous. And so we visited a few times since then. And I wrote On Location last year during the throes of the pandemic when nobody could go anywhere. And we had all of these trips planned, and they just obviously didn't work out. So I wrote it because I wish that I could be there. And also I just think Utah is a really cool place to visit.
I wanted to thank you for representing the underappreciated snowball snack cake.
Of course, I love snowballs. They're one of my favorite snacks ever.
They are delicious, and I don't frequently come across them in the grocery store. I don't know if that's because I'm in Los Angeles. This is something I enjoyed regularly when I lived in New York. So Alia looks down on snowballs. Drew likes them. But so interesting that you gave that one to Drew. You made Drew like the snowballs, even though you in reality are the one to enjoy them.
Yeah, I'm a junk food addict, not surprisingly, and snowballs are just like amazing, and I love them so much. I can tell why people don't like them, because you can tell when you're eating them, they're not healthy, and they're going to do horrible things to your body at some point. But yeah, I wanted that kinship with Drew, so I gave him one of my favorite snacks.
Is it like a touchstone to getting into that character? It's like, okay, they like snowballs like me. Now I could get into writing him. Like, is that a way into the character?
Yeah, it definitely is, for me, at least as a writer. I know every writer has their own process, but little things like that help me feel connected to the character. But I also think it makes it more fun to read too. Like, as a reader, I don't know, like things like that matter, like little things that don't really, they're not that meaningful when it comes to like the character arc or what the journey that the characters go through, but like, hey, they like snowballs and I can relate to that. And it's just kind of something fun I also think it helps flesh out characters, make them seem more real and human, because who doesn't have like a favorite junk food snack?
Number 1. Utahns eat twice the amount of this dessert, and sometimes side dish, as the rest of the population. A popular way to consume this sweet treat in Utah is to add shredded carrots to the mix.
Raisins? I don't know. I have no idea.
No, it is lime green jello. It's actually the state food.
Oh my gosh. You just blew my mind. Like, I can't think of a single time where we've been out in Utah looking for food or ordering food, and that was even like an option.
Number 2, the first ever location of this fast food restaurant wasn't in the East South Central US, as one would have guessed, but 1,500 miles west in Salt Lake City, Utah.
This is wrong. In-N-Out Burger? I don't know.
No, the clue was East South Central US, which includes Kentucky.
Oh my gosh. Oh, so KFC. Yeah.
The iconic fried chicken recipe was first served in the cafe of Colonel Sanders' friend and Utah native Leon W. Pete Harmon.
Oh my gosh. This is I had no idea. Literally no idea.
There you go. What is Utah's signature dish? It's not jello.
I don't know. Casserole? I have no idea.
You're not totally wrong,
oh.
But you are.
Okay.
Like, you have the right idea that they eat casseroles there, because I did come across it in my research. But their signature dish is something called Navajo tacos.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yes, I've seen that there. Yeah. Okay. Oh my gosh.
So with influence from southeastern Utah's Navajo Indian tribe, Navajo tacos is a popular dish. I looked up a picture. It almost looks like an open face sandwich or an open face taco, that it's made with Indian fry bread. And then there's, meat, seasoned beef and beans and all the regular taco fixings on top.
Yeah, that I've actually had those, and they're amazing. They taste so good. I just didn't know that, they're, wow.
Number 4, Utah is known as the blank state because it produces some of the most delicious blank.
Okay. Beehive honey.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yay. Yes, it's the Beehive State. And have you had any of their honey?
No, I haven't. I've heard that though. And I just I need to, the next time I go, I'm going to get some lime green jello, fried bread taco, and honey from there.
You have to. Okay, now this last one is multiple choice. And as I was preparing it, I said to myself, Sarah has got to do an Instagram live in which she makes this. A popular dish in Utah is a cheesy hash brown and sour cream casserole topped with cornflakes. What is it called? A, Mormon funeral potatoes, B, Brigham Young spuds, or 3, Utah hash?
Let's go with A.
Mormon funeral potatoes?
Yeah.
How
Yes.
certain are you? How certain?
Let's do 50. I'm not certain at all. 50% certain, not at all certain.
Well, my friend, you are correct.
Am I really?
Yes. It's a dish apparently that was brought to a funeral for other people to share, I guess as part of a potluck situation. But you can eat it outside of a funeral. Like you can buy it at restaurants apparently.
Honestly, I'm a pretty, I love carbs and sour cream. So that might be right up my alley.
We have now come to the end of your third appearance on Rita Seeks Romance. Thank you again for making time to chat with me.
Oh my gosh, thank you, Liz. I had such a blast and I feel so honored to be able to be on here 3 times. I feel really special. Thank you.